Overcrowded emergency rooms, diverting ambulances, patients being sent hundreds of miles away to available beds. Those are some of the realities for the Ontario County health system right now. 13 WHAM's Carla Rogner shares their critical message for the community. Carla?
Yeah, hospital leaders are pleading with people to get vaccinated and boosted for COVID, but also for the flu. With hospitals overflowing with COVID and nursing home patients, they say a severe flu season will push them over the edge.
This is not about fear of the virus. This is about fear of overloading the health system.
Alongside Ontario County health and government leaders, Dr. Dustin Riccio of Rochester Regional Health and Thompson Health CEO Mike Stapleton explain hospitals are at a breaking point.
This can't get worse than it already is. Our system is being taxed. Our ability to safely care for people is being threatened.
Their plea to the community includes getting a flu shot.
We are petrified about the upcoming flu season.
New York State is already reporting twice as many flu cases compared to last year's mild season, a burden hospitals are not ready to take on.
At one point last week, our emergency room is built for 24 people, and we had 44 people in our emergency room.
These hospitals are going to extraordinary lengths to get care to patients, including boarding patients in their emergency departments and having to divert ambulances, sometimes more than 200 miles away to open beds. And as Dr. Jason Feinberg explains, sharing resources.
Actually, we're down to one ventilator left in our facility, and with people that were likely going to need more ventilators. And so we went on diversion to establish enough time to borrow 3 from the University of Rochester.
Riccio says most COVID patients filling up the hospitals are not vaccinated.
We have 80 to 90% of our ICU beds that are filled with unvaccinated individuals that are both ventilated and intubated.
Heading into the holidays, these health leaders are asking people to celebrate safely.
Using common sense, staying masked while indoors, making sure that we're vaccinated and boosted, and I do believe we can have a safe holiday season.
Ontario County is waiting on a shipment of COVID tests from the state. They expect to share more information soon about distributing them to schools and residents at the end of next week.
10 schools will remain open, but as Chase Howell found out, families in Rochester City schools are now preparing for a possible return to remote learning. Chase?
Yep, the keyword possibly, Don, but the announcement didn't come without a bunch of mixed emotions, whether it be from school officials or parents. Some saying absolutely we should go remote, others saying not again. Doors could remain closed throughout the Rochester City School District as COVID-19 cases are expected to surge even more after the holidays.
They are clearly not in favor of going remote.
Cheryl Carlton says her children suffered greatly during last year's remote learning, not only causing social isolation, but even causing grades to slip.
My daughter in particular, straight A-B kid, was failing 2 classes.
Farasa Brown, an RCSD parent, says she can see remote learning happening all over again and that she has stayed prepared for her kids to bring the classroom back into their house.
I left everything still the same, far as my kids' desk, far as groceries, far as my work schedule, because as parents, we don't know.
The one parent is actually welcoming remote learning after the holidays. Stacia Dennis says she understands remote learning is difficult for working parents, but it's the right thing to do, especially after her son just spent a week in quarantine after being exposed to COVID-19 in a school cafeteria.
I actually think it's a safe idea. I think it's an all right idea.
Dennis admitting she's even scared herself.
I'm actually really scared. Like, I barely go to the store. I barely go anywhere. I go to the same 3 places.
RCSD wants parents not to worry, saying the note sent out to parents Tuesday was just out of an abundance of caution.
I don't want families to worry that by the district asking them to have their children bring their technology home, it means we're going to shut down. That is not in the plan. That is not something that we are looking at doing.
We also reached out to suburban districts. Rush, Henrietta, and Penfield have not issued the same guidance. Don.
The Blue Cross Arena is tightening its COVID policy. Children 5 to 11 years old will have to show proof of at least 1 vaccine dose to attend an event, and that's effective immediately. The decision by Pakula Sports and Entertainment is the same for the Bills and the Sabres games. 13 WHAM's Natalie Kutchko breaks down what we know about more local venues and where they stand. Natalie?
Doug, for now, Blue Cross is the only venue in the Rochester area to make this decision. However, plans at other sites could be subject to change. We also asked parents how they feel about this new rule. From here on out, the ruling on this sign will now apply to even more spectators at Blue Cross Arena as families look to attend games and shows. Guests ages 5 to 11 will need vaccination cards or Excelsior passes on hand. Michael Cartuccio of Greece plans to take his 5-year-old to Blue Cross soon.
Actually, I think we're planning on going to a Harlem Globetrotter game where if you weren't vaccinated, we'd be a little bit more hesitant about it. So it puts us at ease, actually.
We asked other downtown venues whether they will issue a similar requirement. The Strong Museum of Play will keep its masking policy for those ages 2 and older in compliance with the state's mask mandate. The same goes for the Rochester Museum and Science Center, which at this time has no plans to require vaccinations. The Rochester Broadway Theater League and Jiva Theater both require only patrons ages 12 and older to be vaccinated, but say plans could be subject to change. We also asked parents how the requirement from Blue Cross affects their outlook on events as a whole.
So we will be going to some events. We're just kind of careful right now with Omicron and not knowing enough yet about how prevalent it's going to be.
I think anything to keep the kids safer is a good idea. I would definitely feel more safe taking her if I know that that people are vaccinated, yeah.
And also new tonight, all student athletes, coaches, staff, and spectators in Monroe County will be required to wear a mask at all times at any contest facility. This is in compliance with the state's mask mandate. Those affiliated with a team who do not comply will be subject to disqualification.